okay?
Are we live?
I think we're live and direct. So,
Yay.
hello everybody, welcome to the meeting on the 13th of October 2014. It's not a Friday, so we're all lucky. We're super lucky to be here. And today we're going to mention a few things concerning the way we present ourselves online, I guess, as SUMO. But also, I was actually going to ask Madalena a very tricky question straight away. Do we have any update about last week's action items, or what's the current status of Army of Awesome being pushed in one way or the other? Like a two-sentence summary.
2 sentences. We're making a lot of progress. We're making people moderators. We're defining the moderator's job description. We have just created a group called Mentors right now. So basically following up on the structure that Kaki proposed. And yeah, everything is looking awesome.
Great. So this is very good to know. As always, please remember, people, if anybody wants to jump in on the discussion thread we had about Army of Awesome from last week and also see what the notes were, it's all in the forums. So feel free to join in and ask questions. For example, we can bother Madalena about that. And I'm going to expect an update on the blog at some point. Just saying.
Yes, it's going to happen.
As the main
Do not
blog
worry.
master. Okay, cool. Okay, so today we asked you all here to come and gather and to talk about generally the way we are present online as SUMO. And
Michal, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to make sure before we start that we don't have, there's nothing in particular that some people want to point out for this week. Like, for example, I would like to point out that this week we are going to have a SUMO day on Thursday. So please join us in trying to answering every incoming questions on the forum. That's happening this Thursday as usual. So I'll see you there. And that was like my super important update. If anybody else has something that they really need to point out, please say so now before we start.
Good point. Good point.
So I guess not. So we can move
maybe
on.
somebody has serious updates here, but okay. I mean, for now, of course, all the updates are going to be in the agenda anyway, and the Etherpad. So feel free to browse and take a look around there. But okay, we should all remember SUMO Day is this Thursday. Okay, and I'm not there. I wonder why. Anyway, I think it's going to go just pop without me. So for today, I wanted to bring a topic that kind of is interesting to me because I want to make sure that we actually discuss it quickly, and maybe people are going. I'm going to pick your brains about it. Maybe people are going to have some great ideas. About SUMO presence online, and by SUMO presence I don't mean the website itself, because that's kind of obvious. What I mean by saying SUMO presence is us as a group of people, as a team, as a part of Mozilla, being visible outside and representing Mozilla out there, and just promoting the things we're doing and promoting supporting things globally in many languages with many channels and so on. Outside of the website itself, outside of Mozilla.org or anything else around that website. And I have a couple of questions around this. I put them in the agenda. And I'm just going to maybe start, and feel free to interrupt me, or feel free to say what you think about it straight away. I'm going to start by a very general question. Do you think we should be present more somewhere? Do you think we should be somewhere outside of our blog and outside of the Twitter feed that we just launched recently, and it's picking up slowly and nicely, but anywhere else that you would like to see us being visible? Maybe that's actually not a good idea. What do you think? Should we be pushing for more visibility?
So I actually have a question here. When we're talking about presence, are we talking about presence in terms of us being out there as a SUMO community and telling people they should join our SUMO community, or us being present in the sense of the channels that we're using in order to help people? Because I think those are two different things.
Yeah, I think rather the former. So actually making sure that people know that SUMO exists and it's a way to contribute.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you think there are places that we should be pushing ourselves to be more visible at? Like some people, for example, mentioned Facebook recently, and I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I'm just throwing it out there and saying, okay, this is something that could work or not, and I'm not a big Facebook person myself. What do you think?
So I think we should definitely be more out there. I think there are many places where we should be present. The first that comes to mind is be more present within Mozilla, so internally. I think we're definitely not present enough there. Outside on like different channels, sure, Twitter, Facebook, those are fine. It's just like with these channels is always, we need to always be careful. First, I mean, those channels need to not be monitored and taken care of. And then second, if we're talking about presence in the sense of us, SUMO, as a community, want to attract more people, not to turn that presence into a support channel, because that's different.
One place where I feel we might have a shot at solving both the internal and the external presence that Madalena is talking about is the Monday update meetings, the Mozilla-wide Monday update meetings where things are recorded. It's there's an agenda where you can put some bottom lining stuff, and you get 2 or 3 minutes where you can present anything. I feel like in this age, that's probably, or at least sometimes, going to be more efficient than blog posts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you have everybody's attention for a couple of minutes, and like that's one way we can increase both the internal visibility and the external visibility. And I think there should always be a link to a blog post. So I guess my take is the blog is still kind of the central place where we communicate, and then we use the internal MoPo meetings as, or whatever it's called, actually Monday update meetings, as the way to amplify the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a very good point. I actually didn't. I mean, I knew that the meetings were there. I didn't know they're actually that open that we could just jump in and have items in there. Okay. Does anybody else have any comments on this?
I guess not.
Okay. So the next question kind of coming out of this, and this kind of ties into what Madalena mentioned, I personally agree with as well, that when we are out there, we should not really try to be a support presence, because we already have the forums, we already have the site itself, we already have Army of Awesome, so we are present and helpful in many different ways. How do we get visible without turning SUMO into PR marketing or, well, support as well? But in general, kind of, how do we avoid getting entangled in that situation where we have to get our messages validated by somebody or signed off? I know that this is not the case, for example, right now, but do you think we could reach a moment where we're kind of, in the loop of bigger things, and then we have to wait patiently and be careful about messaging externally?
Well, I think if we're really focusing on contributors or potential contributors as an audience, and we limit our messaging to just contributor-focused content, I don't foresee having that sort of problem. And if other users come up to us and ask us support questions, we can just kind of funnel them to SUMO or to our actual support channels.
Yeah, like I guess what you're saying, John, is, let's say we have a SUMO Twitter account which is targeted to contributors, and then if somebody comes up and asks for help, we say, this is the place where you can get help. This is just for the SUMO community. I mean, this account in particular is for community members.
Yeah, but you can go to this site for help.
Yeah.
So I have a question also. When you mention, whether we should be more out there in some of the social media, do we mean? I'm assuming that what we mean is as a SUMO group. So, like for example, as a SUMO account, or do we also mean each one of us as persons?
Michal?
Okay. No, I was just writing it down. Sorry.
I can take notes. I can take notes.
No, I can do everything. That's okay. But anyway, feel free to just add to the Etherpad anyway. I think it's mostly as a, I mean, not trying to diminish everybody's awesomeness and being really cool online, but I think it's mostly as a group, because I think we already have, a lot of us already have our own accounts in different places, and we message already out there as Mozillians, individual Mozillians. But I think this would be more about being a group within Mozilla with a particular goal and a particular focus. And again, feel free to correct me, because I'm not saying that my idea is the best, or I'm not saying this is an idea that I have. This is how I understand SUMO being more visible.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Okay, so another thing that I added here, unless somebody has any additional comments or questions around this. Okay, I guess not. So, should we count wiki pages which are publicly accessible as external online presence? Because this is somewhere where we, for example, put the notes, we put the links to all the notes for the Etherpads, we put all the information how to join meetings, which is kind of very nice. And this is one of the things I love about Mozilla in general, that there's so many opportunities to just connect people working on all the projects. Should we try and be more public about the wiki pages and put more of our presence in there as well? And direct to the wiki pages maybe, or should we just leave it there as a resource for people to find?
I like wiki pages.
Okay, and that means?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking. So I was thinking if I don't know who uses wiki pages. Like, as far as I see, mostly wiki pages are used by people who are already members of the Mozilla community. So, I mean, I would be totally in for it. I think it would be useful, but I'm also thinking, like, how much of an impact a wiki page can have. I don't know. Like, I'm not. I don't think we have. I don't think we have ever tested that, or we even thought about that. So, just to understand where I'm going. The thing is that we can have all kinds of channels and resources if you want to, but we probably want to stick to only a few, because otherwise we'll just be everywhere and not being able to maintain anything.
Any other comments?
I think the wiki pages, the place where they can be helpful is just having some static information, like as far as the meetings, where we have the schedules for the meetings and the meeting notes for all the meetings, and it's an easy place that we can link to if somebody has a question or more information how to get started. If we communicate with them through some of these other external mediums and they get interested, then there's an easy place that we can link to some static information already.
Okay. Anybody else, or can we move on to the other one? The next point. Okay, so let's move on to the next point then. Thank you for that, Ralph and Madalena. So do you think that we should be less and more visible? I guess, well, we can only be more visible, but to current users as a group of people. So in general, it's about sending newsletters, or it's about being included in some of the newsletters. So I know that we have periodic newsletters being sent out to Firefox users, for example. But to be honest, I haven't really followed them that much in my private account where I get them. Should we be a part of this, maybe?
So when you're saying users, you're talking about the external users. I mean, not the community, right?
Well, generally both, because I assume that people within the community are using Firefox, for example.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when we're saying newsletters, what kind of newsletters? Like newsletters towards the community where we talk about community issues, or newsletters towards users where we talk about support issues?
So I think more the latter again. So thank you for making this clear for me. It's about reaching out to people out there saying, okay, sometimes you search for help. Did you know that we have all those cool channels, or did you know that they can actually contribute again? So reaching out to people who are in one way or another connected to Mozilla, probably by the use of Firefox or Firefox OS, and they are happy to receive news. But the news usually, I mean, let's say they're product tips, or they're mentioning something really cool like an anniversary or some kind of a big launch. But should we be more visible in that kind of communication, or would we actually consider this annoying?
I think that's a pretty cool idea. We should talk to whoever is doing newsletters and see what they think about it.
Okay, Safwan is adding that we can send newsletters like the WhatsApp with SUMO. But would that make sense that we copy the content, or should it be something original as well? Because personally, I don't think that sending the same content to 5 different channels makes a lot of sense. Maybe sending a mention that it exists, so links to the blog post. This way we can increase the traffic on the blog.
Yep. Why not?
Sorry, Michał, I wasn't sure if I understood your original question about newsletters, but we're already featured in the Mozilla newsletters. So I'm not sure, were you proposing any specific change, or are you signed up for those newsletters?
I think I am signed up on them for them. Sorry, on my private account. I don't think I read the last one in detail.
Okay.
But for example, things like, let's say, Madalina's SUMO day, where we have people answering questions, or should we be promoting initiatives like this? I mean, I don't know. Like, this is just a very open question.
Okay. Well, so the newsletters that the user engagement team is responsible for is targeting end users. So it's not. It wouldn't include things like, here's how you can get involved and answer all questions within one day. That's more of a community outreach, and I would probably say that for that target audience, it's probably better to use the blog or our internal community forum even. And of course the Monday updates, like that 3-minute thing could be a perfect opportunity to promote a SUMO day. Because then you can actually attract also internal people, developers, people from QA. There's a great way to get more participation in those events.
I think
I'd say that's really better. I think if you're asking, should we develop a new newsletter targeting contributors? My personal opinion is that I don't think that we need more channels of communication. I think we just need a more powerful way of directing people to the 1 or 2 communication channels that we want to have. So again, using some meetings, using some other venues as a way to amplify the messages that we still keep in, for example, the blog. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, I think that makes perfect sense, because that's another thing. We already are messaging to the community and to our users in quite a few places. So this would also be be more about getting on board with all the other communication initiatives that we have. So I'll definitely make sure to check the newsletter again, just to make sure that I didn't skip a link there. Okay, thank you for that, David. So maybe just to wrap it up, kind of, what do you think? What type of content are people expecting from us? And by type of content, I mean the format as well, maybe, but I mean also things that, well, the type of content, as in, is it going to be help? Is it going to be links to resources? Is it going to be cool things to know? How should we serve those things as well? Should it be videos? Should it be like, should it be, I don't know, maybe we should start, like not start, but maybe we should ask somebody from the community who's artistically well developed as a person to have a comic strip, every now and then, to have some kind of a 3-panel thing to just make it fun as well. I don't know. This is just a quick question, because I know everybody loves text and it's easy to scan and it's easy to follow. But what do people think about other formats?
Nobody has an opinion?
I'm just curious. I mean, I know that, for example, we have quite a lot of good visual content out there when it comes to the designs of things. So we have a lot of very kind of strongly identifiable visuals available. We have a good visual presence as a brand in a way, and I mean Mozilla in general. Is this something you think would make sense for us to work on, or should we have videos? Should we have, I don't know, should we start the band? I'm joking, okay, this is just a joke.
I like the band. I honestly think, I mean, in terms of videos, that's what works best. I mean, if everybody remembers the What's Up with SUMO, those are pretty much the most successful I don't know, content that we had, the most appealing to people. When Michael was doing that.
Yeah, Michael Verdi's videos. Yeah. Okay. So, do you think we should ask Michael to just give us kind of a tutorial how to make really cool videos like he did, and try and experiment with this? Maybe have a video once a month or once every 2 months, just to kind of make it a bit more.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do the videos that he does. I'm not sure if anybody can. But I would love to have that talent. Someone is asking if we can make artwork on chat.
Yeah, I mean we already. I think, for example, one thing I really loved was the fox, and with the butler and the fox on the podium, like with the microphone and so on. I think this is really cool imagery, and I think it was submitted by one of the community members. I wasn't there.
No, that actually was done by the Mozilla design or creative team.
Okay. So are they hard to work with, or can we just come over and just say, hey guys, we have this idea, or do you have some time? Or
I think in terms of time they're really stretched. So if you want something, we need to have like a very good case behind it. But we can also use like, I mean, whoever wants to do something cool for SUMO, please do so. There's no restrictions. I would love for us to develop some kind of a brand, in terms of like having a logo and then having T-shirts with that logo, and something that unifies us all, because I think we're not very good at that right now. And we don't have, I don't know, like Mozilla Reps has, there's a Mozilla Reps program and the Mozilla Reps logo and the Mozilla Reps T-shirt, and everybody can identify with that. I would love to have something similar for us as well.
Okay, and I think Centurion added there, or was it Patrick? You both have the same color, guys. Sorry for that. Somebody added about homepage. So,
yes,
okay,
it was me that on Firefox, in the About home page, there are some ads, sometimes like the Firefox OS or the AMO. So if we can put ad about the SUMO, so the Firefox user can know about it. So from where we can get support or how to contribute in the SUMO community.
Okay, that's definitely a cool idea to follow up on
For now, it's about there is an ad about the add-on in the about home page of Firefox.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes time to time. So if you can add for the SUMO, so people can know about us easily.
Okay. Okay, and we're getting a thing from David on IRC. Yeah, we have the buster indeed. Yeah. And we could use the superhero symbol on the chest box. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
I
actually
think.
a good idea.
Yeah, I think we even came up with this idea like last year when we thought of like let's make that symbol, let's make it a logo, like a full-time logo, but we never got to actually doing it. So that's an idea.
Okay.
That does not require extra work.
Okay, so we'll think about that. Then we'll look into obtaining permission to use it and maybe refining it a bit. I mean, figuring out whether we should put in different colors or 3D or things like that with explosions. We'll see what we can do.
3D, I would love that.
Yeah. As a fact, I know a guy who used to work on special effects for Michael Bay movies. So, just saying. Okay, and I'm not joking. Okay, so I think that kind of wraps up the main discussion. I'm going to start a thread on the forums again so people can add more ideas or questions about it. Thank you very much for everybody, to everybody who connected and contributed to this discussion. We also have one more topic in there added by David. So...
Really?
Not you.
Dad.
A bit lower, right?
The sad deaf David.
Yeah,
there are
sorry,
two Davids in this.
The other David.
Yeah.
The other
We have a double David.
Too many Davids, David.
So the question is, if we can get back the mobile meeting on Wednesdays, but didn't we have a mobile meeting on Wednesdays? So I think it only changed times. Again, this is a question to Ralph, yes.
Yeah, so we're talking, Hermina and I are talking about still having the meeting, but we'll be having it less often. So we're trying to, we're talking about figuring out what exactly is the purpose of the meeting, and also having it less, we'll be able to have a more engaging meeting, and we'll have more to talk about during each of the meetings that we have, because having it every week, it was getting to a point where each week there wasn't much updates. So stay tuned. We'll definitely be having open meetings back for the Mobile Wednesday meetings.
I think the other point that was raised as well is a lot of the updates could just happen in this meeting instead of having a separate meeting just for mobile.
Yeah.
So it's about consolidating our meeting and also taking a closer look at the meetings that are mostly just status updates, which, Madeline Mihao has done a good job of actually changing that for this meeting. This is, just quick early feedback. It's a way better meeting than the status update kind of predominant meetings that we've had in the past, I think. So kudos to that.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll experiment.
And I'm late for my next meeting, so I have to go. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks a lot, David. Now we only have one David, and the meeting is going to be easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only issue really was like some contributors for time zones and that for this meeting. That's why they're not attending.
That's possibly true.
And we're not in Mozilla. We should try and go in Mozilla for it, because I know the SUMO mobile and Mozilla were doing quite well in that for hits.
So having like a monthly, having a monthly meeting on Mozilla so that everybody can join it and have it a public meeting. Okay. Well, I think this is something that Ralph and Hermina have to still discuss, because as Ralph said, I think they're just trying to figure out what exactly to do so that it's going to have the most impact, and maybe we're going to ask them to contribute a bit more updates to the blog. Just saying, we have the blog. No, I mean just.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
cool.
Regarding the videos, Roland's might be a good contact, I've been told. Like Verde, Roland is might be doing, and Ralph can do them as well, I believe. from Verde.
Yeah, that's possibly an option as well. Yeah, I mean, I think so. What we'll do is we'll definitely let Ralph and Hermina discuss it and decide what to do, and then we're going to have an update out there, possibly in the forums, and then we're going to figure out where to go next from there. Cool, but thank you for raising this issue. Definitely a good question. Okay, guys, we're a bit over time, so I'm just going to start wrapping things up here. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, last-minute updates?
Yes, I just want to. So it's not only about the SUMO Day. Yes, SUMO Day on Thursday. Don't forget about that. But also, since Tyler is not there, is not here today. Where is it? Yeah, Firefox 33 comes out tomorrow. So be prepared for that. We might have like a bigger number of questions or I don't know, visits. And Tyler will make sure to post the usual launch post on the forums, and you'll have all the updates there.
Firefox is me.
Sorry?
Firefox is almost as old as me when it comes to version numbers. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. I think we're a bit over time, but thank you very, very much for being here and listening and contributing and asking questions and being curious about things. It's usually me being curious as a precious member of the team. Again, I'm going to post a thread about this on the forums. People can contribute if they feel like it. Yeah, ask additional questions. And I think with this, we can finish the meeting today. I'm still giving you a last-minute chance to say anything, but if that's it, that's it.
I'm just sending my love. Thanks everybody for participating. Sorry?
This looked like a liver, just saying, Malia.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I don't know. It's maybe like a kidney. I don't know. Oh, never mind. You have to practice.
just cut this part when you're posting the recording. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Totally will. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, all the other times of day.
Yeah. Have a great week and see you online.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.